twin boat paradox. Okay, how big are those boats?
Regular boats, bro.
Regular boats. Okay, you know on
Two
the
small
Earth,
boats.
with put it in perspective, 190 million square miles. If you're to take 1% of the Earth, so if you did a 360 and a 360, right, multiply that by 360 so you get a globe, right? If you take 1%, one section of that Earth, you could have 69 miles squared. Yeah, so 1,500, 14, whatever. You could have 69 miles of pure flatness and still come out with a globe. So
That's
how
what,
far apart are
yeah,
these
that's
boats?
what the fantasy, one part of the fantasy says. Yeah, because you're going to degrees
No,
now.
that's
But
not a fantasy. That's
if you,
not the fact. So,
it is, bro.
you
No,
want,
no. Look, if you
oh,
go by
that's
the
not
8
that.
inches per, can I speak?
SC finally got the balls to come in here. Well done, SC.
I'm always in here, you little pussy. What are you talking about? I'm always here.
So why
Not,
don't you
not
tell us how the
recently.
why don't you tell us how the twin boat
I don't
paradox
run like
debunks
you.
the globe?
I don't call me
SC?
out and run like you, like a little pussy.
Yeah, I'm running from you. That's why I'm talking to you in here right now.
No,
This is
I'm
running,
not going
right,
to talk
SC?
to you in here. I'm going to talk to everybody except you because you're a little pussy.
Yeah, you're gonna avoid talking to me because you know that you can't talk to
No,
me. You
you're
little
a
bitch.
two-faced.
You're a
You're a
little bitch,
two-faced
SC. You're a
fuck.
bitch, SC. You're a bitch, SC, and you're scared to talk to me.
Hey, bitch, are you a flat earther finally? I
No,
mean, are you a glober?
because flat earthers are dumbasses like you. Why would I want to be that?
Do you have the balls to finally say you're a baller?
Earth is curved and it's not flat. How's
You
that?
see, you still don't have the fucking balls, do you?
Did you not hear what I just said, you dickhead? Earth is curved and it's not flat. Why would I want to be a flat earther like dumbasses like you?
Are you a
You're not
baller? I'm
educated.
asking you, are you a baller?
You're not educated, SC. That's why you're making this juvenile argument.
Are you
And
a baller, dickhead?
there's no point trying to explain this bullshit to him because he's not going to get it. He's just going to keep waving around this stupid argument for months and months like he's always done this entire time. Because
Are you a baller?
he's incapable.
Yes or no?
SC is incapable of learning. He is
Are you a
absolutely
baller?
incapable of learning. Did you not hear what I said? Earth is not flat, it's curved, you moron. What does that mean?
You don't have the balls to say you're a baller, man.
What does it mean if I'm telling you that the earth is curved and it's not flat? You dipshit.
I want to hear you say it. I want to hear you say it. I am a baller, SC. Say it.
No, I'm not going to say that bullshit because that's bullshit that was invented on the internet. There's no such thing as ballers or flat earthers. Those are just terms that were invented on the internet. So that retards like you can go around calling people ballers and flat earthers. You're a moron. You don't understand anything. You're never going to understand anything. There's no point talking to you.
Hide in here, you little pussy. That's right. Everybody knows what you are. You're a two-faced, and you don't even have the balls to say you're a baller, dude.
Well,
I respect curved more than you.
You're a moron because you don't even understand things that children understand. You don't understand spherical geometry. You don't understand how vertical lines are not parallel on a ball. Even though it's been explained to you thousands of times, you can't get it through your thick skull because you're dumb as fuck. And you're never going to understand any of this shit because you're only in this to win arguments like all of the other flat earth idiots. You don't care about learning anything. You just want to look smart and win arguments on the internet. So carry on with your bullshit, Essie.
Good rebuttal. You don't even have the balls. The balls.
Oh yeah, just repeat the same thing over and over again. You don't have the balls. You don't have. Repeat it over and over again. You don't have. Your vocabulary is so limited that you can't even say more than 3 words. And you're trying to call me dumb?
I'm not calling you dumb.
You dumbass.
I'm calling you a chicken shit.
Oh yeah, I'm a chicken shit, and that's why I'm talking to you right now. I'm asking you how this argument debunks the globe, and it doesn't, because this is just some bullshit that you conjured up in your mind, the same bullshit that Quantum Eraser is parroting right now. And he's even dumber than you are because he copied this shit from you and called it Bob and Alice. But we all saw how stupid it was and how it didn't make any sense. But you just don't get it. Like, just because you're too stupid to get any of this shit. 5-year-old children understand this shit.
Explain it to us there, sir. Go ahead. Explain to us how it works. Go.
How what works?
What's wrong with the twin boat paradox? How do you see it?
I see it as a stupid, malformed argument that you came up with that proves your misunderstanding of the globe. You don't understand how the globe works, so you put two boats on a flat earth and you're like, oh, look, they can't look at each other because there's two curves, two drops in between them. It's absolute malformed bullshit. Nowhere in the globe model does it say any of that shit. Nowhere in the globe model does it say that vertical lines are parallel and two people 3 miles away from each other can look at each other. There's nowhere in the globe model where any of that shit is mentioned. So you fabricated this shit in order to come up with a malformed argument and play games with people on the internet. And smart people figured this out. The dumbasses are the ones that keep talking to you, trying to educate you, thinking that you're going to change your mind. And that's never going to happen, ever.
You think that you can educate me? Really? You actually think that?
No, nobody can educate you because you're incapable of learning, like most flat earthers. Incapable.
Okay, fine.
Absolutely incapable of learning.
All right, explain to me then where it's wrong. The twin boat paradox.
I just
Go
did.
ahead.
I just
False
did.
baller.
Now this is
False
why
baller. Go ahead.
this is why you're a dumbass, because I just explained to you how it doesn't work and you still didn't get it. So this is why you're dumb.
No, you didn't explain shit, dude. You didn't explain shit.
Yeah, I did. I told you exactly what your argument is. You took two boats, you put them on a flat earth, then you put curve in between them, which is absolute nonsense. Because on a ball, vertical lines are not parallel to each other. So how can two boats 3 miles away from each other have parallel vertical lines? It's impossible.
Yeah, you think? You think? First of all, I didn't put
you don't think because you're the one that came up with that argument. So you don't
I
think
didn't put the ball.
that's why you came up with that argument, because you don't think.
Me. You're scared, aren't you? Scared, huh?
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Say whatever you got to say.
I didn't put the balls on a sphere. I didn't put the boats on a sphere. I put
them on a flat earth.
You're interrupting me again. You're interrupting me. I didn't put the boats on a sphere. The question is, the boats are on water. The water is calm. I never mentioned the sphere, dude.
Right, so you've never measured water to be horizontal and flat. And just like the rest of the on-the-level retards who've never done that before, you're going to claim that water is vertical. You're going to claim that water is horizontal and flat without any measurements, which is complete bullshit. So you just admitted to what I said before, which is you put two boats on a flat earth and you asked, why is there curve in between these two boats? It's on a flat earth, you moron.
No, you clown. Listen up. You must have wax in your ears, you idiot. Listen up. The two boats are not on a curve. They're not on a sphere. The two boats are on the water here on Earth. Pick any lake you want. Calm day.
So if the two boats are not on a sphere, why the fuck would there be drop in between them, you idiot? If the two boats are not on a sphere, why the fuck would they be drop in between them?
That's right,
you see how your argument doesn't make any sense?
Get it now.
No, I don't get it because it doesn't make sense. It's bullshit.
Exactly. It's fucking bullshit. Now you're starting to understand the paradox.
It's bullshit because you made up this malformed argument that has nothing to do with reality. On the globe, vertical lines are not parallel with each other. But you don't seem to get that. It doesn't matter how many times it's been told to you, thousands of times, and you still don't get it, which makes me think that you're either just a dumbass or you're just pretending to be dumb. You're just playing this game where you're just pretending to be dumb, and you're just pretending not to understand simple concepts that even children understand.
So smart man, you're smart. Now you're saying that somebody's horizontal is somebody else's vertical? Is that what you're saying?
When did I say that?
I'm asking you. Because on your
I said that on a sphere, vertical lines are not parallel.
Exactly.
Is what I said.
Exactly. So I'm asking you a question, a follow-up. Are you then saying that somebody's horizontal is somebody else's vertical on your sphere, sir?
That's correct.
So, and you're calling me dumb. Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm calling you dumb because you're putting two boats 3 miles away from each other and asking if they can see each other. And of course they can't. That's impossible. That's a prediction that can't work on the globe.
Why don't the boats see each other? Due to what?
Because they're on a globe, retard.
Because they're on a globe, retard? Is that
Yeah.
an answer, you fucking moron? Do you mean to say because the water hump between them blocks them from seeing each other, retard? Is that what you want to say?
Balls don't have humps on them. You don't
So
know what a hump
causes
is.
the obstruction then?
The curvature of Earth.
The curvature, which is water, right, retard?
Where's the hump? Where's the humping water?
No, answer my question.
Do you even know what
answer
a hump
my
is?
question, retard.
Do you even know what a hump is?
Yeah. You see? You're a fucking moron, and I just proved it.
You're going to show us two boats on a sector of a circle and going to call that a hump? That's not a hump, you idiot. That's a sector of a circle.
You squirted my question like a little girl, didn't you?
Balls don't have humps on them, retard.
Jackass, what blocks the view between the boats? Jackass?
The curvature of Earth.
Which is what? Which is water, right?
No, which is a sector of a larger circle, idiot. Like look at the image. Look at the image I just posted. Is that a hump or is that a sector of a larger circle? Why don't we let the educated people answer this and not you? The people that actually understand how the globe model works, which is not you and everybody else in this room. Is that picture that I just posted a sector of a larger circle or is it a hump?
Oh, clearly it's a hump.
It's a hump.
Well, you're an idiot, Moyak.
You fucking clown.
Don't be so
You're
mad.
a real clown, SpacePope. Really, man. You are pathetic, bro.
So really, you guys are gonna just let this go like this? Like this is where's the hump in this image? Can someone show me where the hump is in this image?
It's written there, you moron. Can't you read?
You're the one that wrote it there, retard.
Not me, you clown, Ruhiv. You fucking idiot.
Balls don't have humps on them. Balls do not have humps on them. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We're looking at
go
the
talk
sector.
to Ruhiv.
We're looking at the sector of a larger circle, and you're gonna call that a hump?
Not
how
me,
How much dumber than this can you get? I mean, seriously, you're reaching an all-time low.
Stupid. Everybody's laughing at you. That's your model, and Ruhiv drew that.
Who's laughing right now? Who's laughing right now? Who's laughing right now? Nobody's laughing.
Actually, everybody's laughing at you, Mr. Essie.
Yeah, everybody's laughing at the jackass in here that doesn't even understand his own argument.
You idiot. You just made fun of yourself, bro. You just posted the dumbest fucking picture ever made. Thank you, Ruhiv.
You said that scale doesn't matter. I posted an image where I have progressively smaller scales. And
when I said scale doesn't matter, it was in reference to the other retard who said that we need a boat the size of Australia. That's when I said
right. No,
yeah, I'm the retard when you can't. I'm the retard when you can't understand what 5-year-old kids understand in 5 minutes.
That's what I'm showing.
What's the matter, Essie? 1 second. He made me a retard. One second. What's the matter, Essie? Idiot. The boat that it have been drawn there is the size of Australia. I didn't say because we need a boat that the size of Australia. Idiot. Fucking retard. You cannot understand what the people are talking to you.
Yeah,
unbelievable. You're so retarded.
This is so good, man.
In my image, the 2,000 mile apart boats, those boats are like 500 miles tall. And then when you go to the next pane, it's 500 miles, and those boats are like maybe 100 miles tall. And then when I get to the 100 miles apart, those boats are like 10 miles tall.
So you see the image that the genius
500 miles away from each other, and you can't see them. Ha ha ha! You can't get more retarded than this. This is the lowest you can get as far as stupid goes.
SpacePope, I thought you were dumb, bro, but I didn't think you were this fucking dumb, and today you just proved it, yeah?
No, you've reached an all-time high, dude. Like, you're even dumber than Quantum Eraser is. He was dumb for parroting this bullshit, but you're even dumber for continuing to parrot this bullshit. At least QE realized that he fucked up, and you still just don't get it.
I'm not parroting. This is mine. The twin boat paradox belongs to me and me alone. You got that?
Right, so you're going to continue repeating this fallacious, malformed argument that has nothing to do with reality, besides the point that thousands of people have explained to you the correct version of how this would work on the globe. You're still going to keep repeating the same malformed argument. Yeah, we get it. You're not here to learn anything. You're just playing a stupid game on the internet with your on-the-level retard friends.
Shout out to On the Level crew, my buddies. I'll stand behind them any fucking time. You are a double-notch loser.
Oh yeah, on the level, a bunch of truck drivers and janitors that claim that they're smarter than Einstein. Yeah, those are your experts.
So ad homs, right? A janitor.
No, that's absolutely the truth, dude. Everybody on the level is either a truck driver, a security guard, or a janitor. They don't have any qualifications to be speaking on anything in this topic.
Really? I'll put a janitor, Jeremy, next to you and he'll fucking demolish you any day of the week. Yeah, that janitor. That's all you do is you demean. You think because somebody has a white coat, right, they're automatically right. And you demean somebody for the work that they do. That's low, my friend. You're low.
No, if I want to get my car fixed, I'm going to go to an auto mechanic. I'm not going to go to Burger King and ask the people at Burger King to fix my car. Just like I'm not going to go and talk to a bunch of truck drivers and security guards when I want to figure out what the shape of the earth is. I'm going to talk to the people that are actually qualified to speak on this topic. And that's not you. You just demonstrated that today by showing that you have no understanding of how the globe works. Carry on, though.
Dude, stop embarrassing yourself. Just because somebody's a janitor or something else doesn't mean he doesn't have certain knowledge or cannot learn certain things. You, sir, are a racist. An educational racist, yes.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly what I told you. You think a man's worth is what education he has. You think because a man, let's say, dropped out in high school, could not have learned stuff on his own. You think that only the system could teach you something, correct?
No, unlike you, I think qualifications matter. People that bust their asses going through 4 years, 5 years of college to get college degrees, that means something. But people that just sit their asses on Discord that are janitors and truck drivers and haven't had to work a day for anything are considering themselves smarter than people that actually have qualifications? Nah, man, that doesn't make any sense. That only makes sense in the flat earth dementia realm, where janitors and truck drivers are experts.
So you don't think, for example, now, let's say I was a janitor, which I'm not, but let's say I was, right? Let's say I was a janitor and I hear a thing like the Big Bang Theory, right? And I go and research it on my own and I find out that it's a pile of horse shit, unproven. You think me being a janitor, I can't call that out because I'm not educated enough? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. You're not qualified to make that type of assessment.
Then you're a fucking moron, bro. And you're always going to be a fucking moron. You're always going to follow. You're never going to have a mind on your own. I'm sorry.
Just like I'm not qualified to speak on rocket science because I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm more humble to people that actually are qualified to do stuff. Unlike you think that you can be unqualified and still be smarter than people that are actually qualified, which is completely
absolutely
retarded.
Fucking right. I believe that. Yes, I believe that.
And that's why you're a flat Earth retard.
Hold on, I'll tell you why.
That's exactly why you're a flat Earth retard.
Exactly. Now listen up. I'll tell you why. Because when a qualified person tells me that a straight line can curve, I'll tell him to go fuck himself any day of the week. I don't care how many bananas he has on his shirt. Do you understand, SpacePope?
Well, when a bunch of truck drivers tell me that spherical geometry doesn't exist, and when I type in Google spherical geometry and find that it actually does exist, I'm going to listen to the people that are qualified to speak on the subject.
You believe then that a straight line can curve because somebody more qualified than you told you that, correct?
Nobody says it's.
I
a
believe
straight
that
line.
straight lines can curve because spherical geometry is part of reality.
Then you're a fucking idiot.
You remember those commercials where, you know, somebody will be, you know, giving CPR or something, and they're like, "Are you a doctor?" And they're like, "No, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night." That's like flat earthers. Are you a scientist? No, but I did watch a YouTube video.
So you're saying now that the people that are not scientists do not have the right to question if they see something is wrong? You're saying that?
You can question everything you'd like. Be skeptical. Skepticism is good, but unless you have the tools to properly make conclusions based on the evidence, your skepticism is basically meaningless.
Okay, so what evidence do you have for the Big Bang? I question the Big Bang. I call it bullshit. I call
Well,
it
his skepticism only applies. His skepticism only applies to the globe. It doesn't apply to flat Earth. His critical analysis is only going to be applied to the globe, but flat earthers can say any old bullshit, and he's just going to swallow it up.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. The standard of
No, I
evidence
just
that they
told you
hold for
something. Why
things
are you
that they
guys
want to
skirting the
believe
question?
is unrealistically low, and the standard of evidence that they hold for things that they don't want to believe is impossibly high.
Exactly. That's why Bob Nodell can say there's two suns in the sky, and all you morons are just going to swallow all that bullshit up.
Yep.
No critical analysis, just eat up all his bullshit.
So
And
you
you know-
skirted the question I gave you. You skirted it, both of you.
The thing is, with the shape of the Earth, I could take a janitor and some instruments. We go out in the field, and yeah, it can be demonstrated. That's not hard. Big Bang Theory, well, let's just go ahead and put theoretical physics and astrophysics, aside, and put it down to the tangible Earth that can be measured with just a little bit instrumentation and demonstrated, practically demonstrated in the field. And I could take a janitor out there, and in 3 days, he could accurately go out and collect the data, and with only a little bit of high school math, he could actually see vertical lines do not measure as parallel easily, reliably, repeatably everywhere.
See, that's what would happen if you're dealing with people that wanted to learn and were interested in getting to the bottom of this and learning what the truth was. But you're not. You're only interested in people that want to win arguments on the internet. So you could do these measurements, you could show them to them, but they're just going to reject them like they always do.
Wait a minute.
Why do you expect something different to happen?
Hold on.
Honestly.
The other guy just said we can't show measurement because we can show flat up to 69 miles. Now this guy is saying something different. Make up your minds, dude. Which is it? Which is it, LaryGps?
Repeat that. You said 69 miles and flat. Who said that? What?
That's what your boys were saying before, yeah, and they were laughing at me. Yeah.
I don't know the exact quote. It sounds a little fishy. I'm sorry, so I can't comment on it.
Well, I'll refresh your memory. Maybe you didn't hear. They were laughing at me when I was telling them 8 inches per mile square, and they were saying, "You're crazy. It'll take like 69 miles to see." That's what they said.
Okay, I do not endorse what they just said, because 8 inches per mile squared, which is not the definition of a sphere, but is practically identical when going modest distances like 30 or 40 miles. Yeah, 8 inches per mile squared is a good calculation. It's easy to calculate, easy to remember, and returns the same values as more complicated math, which if you're writing software, of course, you're going to use a more complicated math. But in pencil and paper calculations, you will not go wrong if you're only restricted to like 20, 30 miles. Yeah, I do it all the time.
This feels a little disingenuous. I don't feel like his paraphrasing is
Yeah, that's why I'm not making comments.
Feels fishy.
Well, the man is here. Let him speak for himself. Where is he? Where are you, dude?
Who
Give
made
us
that?
a 69 mile? Come on, 1 degree. Go for it.
I think that probably what was the assertion was
Yes,
that
I have been. So let me figure it out. Let me figure it out for him. So if you really want to calculate a perfect parabola, yeah, you can go with that calculation. But it's so faulty to put it when you have to calculate something in the distance with elevations, with everything, and all the flat earthers are doing something like that. They have an elevation, they are seeing something in the distance, and they do the calculations over regarding the elevations that are in. So you don't have a perfect parabola in this case. So all the flat earthers are doing this fucking nonsense calculation over something that it's on the distance. You have to take all the measurements in considerations to do the calculation.
Yeah. Question: isn't the real formula to figure this out isn't it like I'm reading like this thing right now when it says like it's the real calculation is H equals R minus R cosine S dash 2R. Isn't that what the real calculation is?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and as I said,
Cosine R. Sorry, what was the last one?
The last would you like me to repeat it or like?
Yeah, the last one. Cosine R.
Cosine behind parentheses S dash 2R parentheses.
Yeah, it's good. It's okay. You can do it like that.
I think we're making a fatal mistake here. You can't just simply expect a flat earther to be able to do math.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking too. Yeah, because like this is like, isn't this like trigonometry level math for this equation to like understand it?
Yeah, and again, 8 inches per mile squared is dealing with only 20, 30 miles. Yeah, now you're dealing with small angle approximation to where you got to go pretty far behind the decimal point to see any have any significant value of difference. So yeah, if you're only going 25 miles in a single measurement in a vertical angle to calculate elevation, yeah, 8 inches per mile squared is the easiest way to calculate it. It's also very easy, since it's easy to calculate, easy to remember, you're not going to be very error prone in pencil and paper world. Yeah, and I still do that today, done it all the time. It's not a problem if there's no issue. Yeah, you can't take it across multiple degrees of the surface of the earth. Of course not, but you cannot or rarely see that. And if you are looking at 100 miles, 200 miles, which is like so extremely rare, then you're in such a big environment, you're going to be putting a lot more horsepower into it. Because keep in mind, Mount Everest was observed by vertical angle and theodolite and 8 inches and the curvature of the Earth at 100 miles, and then followed up 100 years later, also by vertical angle and theodolites, and got essentially the same answer, and then followed up much more recently with satellite measurement and still got the same answer. So if you ignore the curvature of the Earth, which is 3969 miles or 3960 miles roughly, which is also good for limited area. You're not going to use that value if you're measuring a whole continent. But yeah, you cannot ignore the curvature of the Earth. And when you're going a couple of miles, it'll bite you in the ass. And if you go 20 miles, it's absolutely incontrovertibly so grossly obvious that, yeah, I could take a janitor and in just a couple of days, walk him through it with proper tooling and kit, and he could see for himself.
Okay, fine. I'm the janitor now. Let me ask you a question. Can somebody's horizontal be another man's vertical?
Yes, but given the caveat that would require 90 degrees of latitude change. So since 90 degrees of latitude change is not intervisible, yeah, okay, yeah. The vertical axis of the globe and the equatorial plane of the globe, yeah, they're both mutually perpendicular and they're both indicating vertical. Yeah, okay, yeah. Radial to the planet. Right. And if you go 90 degrees, yeah, that's exactly what you got.
Okay, well, at least you're
not
honest.
the same lines. They're not the same. They would be parallel in the sense.
Yeah, they wouldn't be level.
Not the same.
Okay, Larry, let me ask you the question because I don't believe I asked you. You heard of the twin boat paradox?
I've heard of the Alice and Bob. I'm not sure of the twin boat, but I think it's the same thing where two boats they're close to each other. As they sail apart, they can no longer see each other.
Yeah, you have two boats equal height. I'm on the front of one. You're on the front of the other one. We're about we're very low. We're about 6-7 feet off the water. We're facing each other. Now the boats start going backwards. How do we see the water in between us?
What?
Well, the horizon, as you're looking out, will start to dip. And
No, but we're looking at each other now. We're looking at each other.
And as they sail apart, they will be obscured by the shape of the Earth. They can no longer see each other after some few miles each in travel, making 6 or 8 miles, whatever, 9 miles between the two boats. Yeah, they won't be able to see each other if you're that close.
What blocks the view? What blocks the view?
Shape of the Earth.
Would it be the water?
Yeah, the shape of the Earth. Yeah, the water that's at a constant elevation. Yeah, as you're going multiple arc minutes in any direction. Yeah.
It's a water
So
mountain.
you mean, hold on. You mean the water rises in between them like a hump?
No, the water's at a constant elevation. The water's not doing a fucking thing. It's at a constant elevation.
The water is at constant elevation. So when they separate, they remain level. Then they remain at the same elevation as when they started.
Yeah, the same elevation.
Okay, then what blocks their vision as they separate?
The Earth.
Curvature of the Earth.
But you just said there's no curvature. There's no hump.
I didn't say that. I said they were constant elevation at a radius of 3969 miles. Yeah.
SE, I've got a question for you. And I'm not trying to be rude.
Let him answer. You can ask me, but let me finish with Larry. So Larry, how could they have constant elevation and then be blocked by the curvature?
Because of the 3960 mile radius of the equipotential surface of water.
What does that mean? Remember, I'm a janitor. I don't understand fancy terms.
No, I'm not talking to a janitor. I'm talking to SE.
But we started off that I'm a dumb janitor, remember?
Well, okay. You want to come out in the field and use some tools, and we'll go through the tutorial. You want to just get into this word game where you don't like certain words? That's different.
What words, bro? I'm asking you a simple question. What causes the disappearance of the boats?
Yeah. The shape of the Earth, the water, the surface of the Earth, the 3960 mile radius of the equipotential surface of water. Water that's not flowing, and as you're traversing away from each other,
But Larry, you're saying that a level water, which we established, is somehow causing blockage. How? How could that be?
Because you're going across an arc with a radius. Is that too hard for you? That's not too hard for a janitor, but it seems to be awful fucking hard for you.
So let's get this straight now, because you're starting to insult. I see I'm getting to you. So you're saying that it's actually curved, but level and flat at the same time.
No, you introduced flat. He never said flat. You have to disconnect the idea of level equal flat.
In context, the word level, when dealing with bodies of water, is a constant elevation. It is not a tangent to the curve. It is not the horizontal, which only occurs at one local point. It is a constant elevation, and that is level, which is equipotential.
So level equals curved in your head. Let's make that straight.
On a globe, yes.
In the context of a body of water at rest, level is a constant elevation. Yes.
Constant elevation or constant drop? Are you sure you're talking about your sphere now? Maybe you're confused.
Where did you get this constant drop? Constant drop would be from a local horizontal.
So you're saying from one point on your sphere, there's constant elevation?
Yeah, you see, hey, janitor, go away and get SE back, because this janitor's fucking stupid.
you see how I'm making you double speak, bro? Come on, man.
It's hopeless, Larry. He's just playing pigeon chess with you.
Hey, Blue, come in to help your buddy, Larry. That's so noble of you, brother.
I'm not trying to help anybody, SC. I'm just tired
Blue,
of
you're
listening
still
to your
sore.
bullshit, that's all.
You're still sore at me? Come on, man. You banned me from your
Why would
channel.
I be sore at you?
Am I
kicked
that
your ass
bad,
up
Blue?
one side and down the other, SC. Why would I be sore?
But why'd you ban me from your channel there, buddy? I thought we were besties.
You're the one who seems to be butthurt, pal, not me.
Come on, Blue, man.
We all get pissed off and do irrational things. Put him back on, you big girl's blouse.
Tell him, bro. Come on. He's still sore at LIGO. You know, we went over there. We had a little powwow with the boys at Next Level, and he got sore. He banned us all. I don't get it. I thought we were besties, Blue.
Oh, shit happens. People get fucking bees in the bonnets, don't they?
Yeah.
Jealousy mainly, but, you know, we all get over jealousy. The big green-eyed monster always pops its head up. You just got to rise above it.
SE, what instruments have you used and what measurements have you made that involve multiple miles across either terrain, specifically across terrain? What have you done physically to prove to yourself other than somebody else's YouTube video?
What I have done to prove for myself, I'll tell you. I went to the river with my P900 and I checked out the markers and I estimated about 4 or 5 miles. And I checked out my height and I said, okay, their model 3959 says the boat should start dropping about right here. And guess what? That didn't happen. I saw the boat go out 6, 7, 8 miles, and there was no drop.
Okay, I said over terrain. I said specifically over terrain. That was my question. What
I
have
haven't
you
done any measurements over terrain. That's what you want to know. That's what you want to hear.
No, you didn't make any measurements over water either. All you did was make an observation.
An estimate.
Measurement did you make?
A P900 does not qualify as an instrument. It's a recording device.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I made measurements. I'm not saying I'm a geologist. I never claimed that.
Oh, all right. As long as we got that clear. I make measurements. You do not. You say I'm wrong. And you have nothing to back that up. So this is Hitchens' razor.
No, I didn't say you're wrong. And I never claimed I was made measurements. I asked you a simple question on a boat using your sphere. I didn't have to make any measurements on my own to ask you this. I didn't have to be a geologist or a geometer or anything. I just asked you a simple question relating to your sphere.
Okay, I retract. You did not say I was flat out wrong. You're right. I'll give you that one. I made measurements. I put graphics in the chat showing a measurement, which is typical, repeatable, and normal. And maybe you could explain how that simple level of just an analog measurement with proper instrumentation across a significant distance of like 11.5 miles easily shows radial lines. The vertical plumb lines are radial to the Earth.
Okay, so you're saying now you looked out with your theodolite, right? Because I might not have hands-on experience, but Bev and the Next Level boys have done a lot of this stuff. So I'm a little bit familiar with what you should see. So are you saying now, when you look through your theodolite, I assume that you're saying that you saw a drop there? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying measured the zenith angles from A to B and B to A. And if vertical lines are parallel, those two angles should be complementary, and they're not. And they're not by a lot. They're not by much more than any possible instrument error. That's what I'm saying. And Mr. Bev does not have a theodolite. He has $100 Home Depot level.
Hold on a second. Are you the guy that had you had 2 instruments side by side? I believe you had an auto level and a theodolite, and you showed and you said that the level is different and that's normal. Was that you?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Was that George? Hooknock, whatever the hell his name is.
Was that Nunchuck? No, I don't think so. I think that was Larry, wasn't it?
Kozlowski.
It just seems George familiar to me.
Yeah, George did say some crazy things, but this I don't think is his.
I'm sorry, Bob did it. Kozlowski did it. A bunch of people did it. But Larry says he hasn't. He's been doing it across the valley.
Yeah, but listen to the ridiculousness of what Larry just said. He claims that we can have a plumb bob here in Montreal. I could hang one up, and then pick a country on the side of the globe, and that plumb bob is going to be hanging sideways or
How the
upside
fuck would I?
down
How would I
under the
measure
palm.
that? How would I be able to measure that?
Exactly. Exactly, bro. Ask him that.
Well, no, he doesn't say that at all. He says it'll be pointing down in both places. However, those downs are not the same.
Right, but
Yeah,
how
because
do
in your
we
fantasy, down means at
delineate?
the center of a sphere.
Well,
Down
no,
could be up.
that's he. Larry was showing you how he's actually measured the fact that down is different at two locations.
And I
That's
put
what
it.
I'm looking for. Yeah.
I put documentation of that measurement, which is one of thousands of measurements. I just put one up there. Okay. Yeah. You want to go ahead and explain that one? Go right ahead.
Tell us the numbers and how much
Yeah,
deviance you got. How far were the plumb bobs?
I put the graphic that have the numbers and the distances. There were only
I just
11
want
and
Give
a
us
like
a
a
little rundown,
methodology.
bro. What's
Just a
the
little
big deal?
methodology. Like, how did you do it?
Yeah.
How do you know that it's not going to be upside down? How do you know that it's not going to be upside down?
What?
Yeah.
If you step outside the reference frame, how can you show that they are at different angles? Put it that way.
How do you know that plumb bobs are parallel if you haven't even measured them?
One question at a time.
Yeah, answer Grimm's question, please.
I'm not sure what that question was.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll say it again. Like, how do we measure the difference in angles? Do we step outside this reference frame? What I mean, how do we get far enough away to measure the difference between the two angles?
By getting far enough away, and by far enough away, when you're dealing with only a few hundred meters or something, it's so slight that's difficult. So yeah, you get out there 50, 80,000 feet. Yeah, then 2 points that are intervisible across like ridge to ridge or ridge to valley. That's not the least bit hard at all. And you put the instrument at each location simultaneously. And observe the vertical angle from A to B, and the vertical angle from B to A. If the Earth were flat, or if plumb lines were parallel, those angles would be complementary, and they're not.
Okay, what is the mechanism in which you've been able to determine this? Is what I'm trying to say. Because you're saying you've done it, but then when you speak on it, you're speaking hypothetically. You're saying, well, what you would do is this, and what you instead of like what I did was this, and then I that's what I would expect to hear from a person who actually did a thing like this.
Okay, I did go out in the field with an instrument, the Wild T3 analog theodolite, purpose-built for geodetic observation over many miles.
Okay.
Least count of the micrometer is about a microradian. And I had a standard deviation of about 4 microradians. And it was repeated. And I put the graphic up there at 28 minutes after. Now, that's just the data. That's just what the instruments return. You can do whatever math you want on that. But you've got to tell me why those two angles are not complementary.
Well, all right. So from one point, you can look at both of the
from one point,
plumb bobs.
From one point, I can see the other point, and at each point is a purpose-built geodetic theodolite. Yes, and they orient themselves to vertical the same way a plumb bob does, except with a far more sensitive methodology.
Right, like a bubble, an air bubble, right?
Yes, and that which is good to sub-arcsecond. And it's analog. It's an analog piece of kit. And 40 years ago, it cost over 10 grand. It's purpose-built. It's ubiquitous. It was used in the Mount Everest surveys. Yeah, it's absolutely was state-of-the-art back in 1960 and was produced up until 1980 and was originally produced, I think, just before the war, like in the late 30s, for geodetic surveys.
So over the distance, which was, you said
11 and a half miles.
11 and a half miles?
Yeah.
and you said that the refraction index, the error of margin of error, excuse me, was much less than the actual measurement.
Yeah, at that kind of distance, yeah, curvature becomes magnitudes greater than possible instrument error. And refraction is just barely, like 1/8 or one.
Standard refraction, though, right? But extreme refraction.
Yeah. That's why going from a valley to a ridge, the line of sight is significantly far away from the ground, so there's no skimming, and you're in the much better atmosphere by staying over, hundreds of feet above the terrain. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Usually, yeah.
And so instead, I don't use the word standard refraction. I prefer the word typical refraction. And yeah, which is about whatever it is, an eighth of, or a sixth of curvature. So they're complementary. So, or they're counter
Opposing,
to each
yeah.
other. So you got 8 inches per mile squared of curvature in the plus, and 1 1/4 inches of refraction per square of the miles
On the minus, yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
easily demonstrate.
So you still ended up with, yeah, okay.
And at no point did I use a P900. The shape of the Earth in geodesy predates the invention of camera, and cameras are not used in geodesy for cause.
For good reason, yeah.
Well, I'm going to take off, guys. Thank you for the conversation. It was mostly cordial.
Would have been nice if you actually could have commented on what Larry said.
I enjoyed the conversation you didn't have with me. I wrote a lot in the room to you. So I'm sure you read it.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time, Essie, yeah.
Later, guys.
Later.
Wow, you go through all that explanation and he just dodged it.
And I was expecting him to comment on the graphic I put up at 28 after. What was I thinking?
But if he does that, then he can't just say no.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
I
yes,
can
he
take
could.
over for him. You're in La La Land. Just kidding.
But since we know that the world is flat, what is your answer to the reason you got these numbers?
Exactly. Objective, repeatable measurement.